Hello everybody, my name is Roger Turner from Turner Fashion House. I'm about to sit with my main man, Kevin Kelley, the Father's Coach.
Welcome to the Father's Coach podcast. My name is Kevin Kelley, the Father's Coach. Now here at the Father's Coach in our community, FCC, Father's Coach community, we reform the image of fatherhood in our culture. So tonight we have a very special episode with a good friend I've known. I kind of tracked it about 21 years, and this guy is a high-value man. He's also a high-value father, and we're going to get into this. I want to share a quote from Miles Monroe. He said, "The most important component of a family is a father." And here's a quote from Kevin Kelley. "Assessing and making measurements are very important strategies of a father." We'll be right back in 3 seconds. Welcome back. This is Kevin Kelley, the Father's Coach. Welcome to this podcast, the Father's Coach podcast, where I have my guest here, my brother here. His name is Mr. Roger Turner of the Turner Fashion House. And I've known this brother for about 21 years. 21 years. I know him to be a good husband, a good father, a good grandfather, a community man, and an entrepreneur. We're going to talk about those entrepreneurial pursuits too. So welcome to the FCC family.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Man, I'm telling you, I want to go back in history. When I knew you was coming, I got so excited because I started thinking about, I think it was around 2003.
Okay.
And when we met through a mutual friend who used to work at the Mink Salon.
Okay.
I forget her name. I don't call her name. I don't know. She might get in trouble. I don't know. Somebody get in trouble.
Exactly.
But I met you there because we were doing small business summits.
Yes.
So I had a business called B&B Group Concepts, Believers in Business Concepts. And I was, of course, I'm a business consultant and business coach and everything. And we were doing these small business summits quarterly.
Yes.
We were doing quarterly, and you were coming faithfully everywhere.
Yes.
We had it. And you also hosted it in your business. What was that? Rogers Menswear.
That's correct.
Rogers Menswear here in Newcastle. I mean, you were a staple in this community.
Man, it's been a wonderful ride. Hasn't stopped. We continue to do things, but I always keep in mind, man, don't despise humble beginnings.
Don't despise humble and small beginnings.
Yes.
I remember some conversations we used to have on dreaming, small businesses.
Yeah.
I didn't even know the word serial entrepreneur back then.
Okay.
We were serial entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
We was dreaming, we was casting vision, we was doing all those kind of things. And as you were hosting the small business summits, I think it might have been an hour and a half or 2 hours. We had food stuff. We hosted a couple of times. I hosted at the church we was going to at that time.
That's correct.
Whatever. And then we had small business explosions that you came. It was excellent. And the funny thing is, the things that I wanted, to materialize, it did not materialize the way I wanted it to. I'm still doing business now. Everything's still flowing and everything. But what I was looking at in 2003 did not happen. Then I had to understand that I was growing. I had to become that man to carry that vision. I had to be able to be that man, carry the vision. And that was the conversation that we had.
Yes.
Actually, when the last time I seen you, I think it personally, we talked about that. Can you share a little bit about that? About having vision and carrying it?
Yeah.
You know?
So my start was in probably 1990.
Okay.
And my vision for my business, I never put it into any type of category. And here's the reason why. Because as I was growing, I was learning. I'm already operating in what God is already telling me to do. So that's success for me. So if you want to measure your success by your dollars, that's a whole another story.
Yeah.
But you were already operating in what God had already gave you. So was I.
What was you doing?
I was doing men's clothing. The vision for my men's clothing was always to someday end up having my clothing mass produced.
Yeah.
Custom made.
I remember that. We had some meetings.
Yes.
And then we were diving in on Sunday nights.
We was doing it Saturday evenings, Sundays, man. We were literally getting it in.
Yeah.
And so for me, knowing what God had for me, all I had to do was follow the program. So I didn't look for overnight success, but I was looking for success in itself.
Okay.
So that meant, was I able to open up a clothing store? Yes. But before that, I was like a small business guy going from one place to another, setting up tables, tents, things of that nature, trying to, get folks to understand what we were doing and how we were going about it. So that was the major thing that we were doing. So as time went on, places, people, things, festivals, all of these type of things that we were involved in, those were also great opportunities. Great opportunities for us to catapult into a men's clothing store. So once I got into the men's clothing store, everything opens up.
Wow. And the sacrifices.
Of course, there's always sacrifice. Any type of success, you're gonna have a sacrifice.
I'm gonna ask you this question now. So, making the sacrifices, you're married.
Yes.
And when you first opened up the store, did you have your daughter yet?
Oh yeah.
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 So the family was making sacrifices while you were out there. So there had to be some communication there with you and your wife.
Absolutely.
So how did that go?
Well, it was kind of shaky, kind of rocky at first. And the reason why I said that, because as I was sitting up writing my business plan, one of the things I wanted my wife to do was be involved.
Business plan. Business plan. A man that finds a wife finds a good thing, and obtains favor from the Lord. He included his wife in his business.
And so what I wanted her to do was sit by my side as I'm writing the plan. But here's what she gave me. The Lord gave you the vision for this business. And so you have to do what he's telling you to do.
That's what she said?
That's what she told me.
She trusted you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she trusted me, but I didn't see it that way. So as I was building, my whole thing was, it's a family business, right? And I looked at other nationalities, other people that would invest in the family. Everybody was involved, kids, wife, cousins, whomever. Everybody was involved. And so I wanted the same thing, because what my wife was bringing to the table was powerful. Banking skills, financial skills, right? And so, and support. She always supported. I didn't doubt that, but I wanted more of her involvement. But, as she threw it back on me, the Lord gave you the vision. You have to work it. So that was the beginning. I had my daughter, my oldest daughter, in 1991. I'd already started in business doing things, right? So when I got the men's clothing store, we're talking 1998. That's the start. That's the beginning of a building. And so all the while, the family dynamic had to come in play. And here's how it came into play. I was 6 days a week at the store. Kids going, at the time, my first kid was born, second kid, and they're going to school in the community.
You working nights too, right?
I was working not nights, but that was full time in the store.
Yeah.
Full time.
Okay.
6 days a week. And so with that being said, is that my kids now were spending their evenings in the store.
That's good. They're getting that impartation of business.
They didn't even know it.
Wow.
But as time went on, my youngest daughter always liked money. She worked the cash register. Oldest daughter doing alterations. She was taking after me. She mimicked me. She hung around me. So, her story goes on, right? Yep. But it's a family involvement. They slept at the store. They ate at the store. Everything was surrounded by the store. Family,
the grid. I want you to talk about the grid. Some of the things that I know of you, since I've known you for 21, probably a little bit more, about 21 years solid. So you have a grid, your personal life.
Yes.
Your person, you're sharp and everything, right?
Yeah.
Your person, right? Then you're married.
Yes.
Too, right? Then you're a man of God. You're a man of God. So you go to church, you're a God-fearing man.
Yes.
Also, you're a man in the community.
Yes.
You're a man in the business. Yeah. So those grid, I look at that as a grid.
Okay.
But when you talk about family, so you're a father.
Yes.
So you're a high impact and a high value father. That's how I see you.
Okay.
That's how I want to introduce you to the audience. You're a high value father. So because you're a high value father, there's other people that you fathered in the community.
Absolutely.
I know one person I believe will come to mind, but I don't know how you want to share that, whatever. But you helped raise.
Oh, absolutely.
Can you share that story?
Absolutely. So
you're like a surrogate dad.
No doubt.
Let's go.
So my wife, as we were dating at the time, not even married, her family member had asked her to come and support her in raising her son. Not that she wasn't around or her boyfriend at the time, but she desired my wife's help because she said, you know more about kids than I did.
Wow.
Yeah. So as I was involved in her life, we became involved in his life. So as he grew, we would always have him. He was like our first child. Wow. Yeah. So as we grew, he grew, we got the store. One of the things that we said is, because he was always in our life, he turned 14 years old. He needs to be in a place where it's positive. Mm-hmm. We went to him, we go pick him up and say, listen, we brought him to the store. How would you like to work in here? He said, I don't wear suits, I don't wear slacks. I said, but you like money. You know what I mean? You like money. So he was like, yeah.
You like money. Oh yeah, go ahead.
So this gentleman here, still to the day, is calling on me for, pretty much a lot of things.
Your daddy.
Yeah.
Your daddy. Wow.
And what he's doing in the community is a byproduct of what he saw me doing.
Yeah.
Not the same as that, but the work is still the same.
Exactly.
And so this brother here, I tip my hat to him, because you know how that stair step, that ladder, mm-hmm. that we can always step and hold each other accountable, and we use each other to, as I bend over and or squat down and put him on my shoulders, right?
It's like this.
He's been exactly, there you go, perfect, right? Lifting him up, never tearing him down, right? Giving him positive information and positive talks. So, I mean, that's just.
So I look at you as, you're of course a high impact father, but you're also a Renaissance man. That's how I see you, as a Renaissance man. So because you're a Renaissance man and you're a leader, because leader, fathers are leaders,
sure.
Type of thing. So he picked that up. So I remember going to this store, which was it used to be on 273.
That's correct.
He used to work there.
Absolutely.
And I thought he was just some kid working
hanging out.
But he was your surrogate son,
oh, no doubt,
nephew, whatever, however you want to name it.
It's like a son.
That's excellent. So that's your grid.
Yes.
That's your grid in your daughter.
Yeah.
In your daughter. So I want to talk about something also about the business too. So with the business, a lot of times we want financiers, right? We want to finance. We want support from our mothers. We want support from our fathers. We want support also from our community. And from the banks, right? But you had investors.
Oh yeah. No, I had
that fell through.
No. Well, that was later on. What got me started in the business was definitely a bank.
A bank.
Yeah.
Do you suggest people, new entrepreneurs, up and coming entrepreneurs,
I'm saying
the bank route?
Well, it's one of those things where you get in when you can fit in. And the reason why I say that, some things are for you. They have benefits. If you can tap into the benefits of the red and cross over that red tape, that is a barrier for us, because there's monies in every single bank, right, that allows us to go in and use them properly.
Yeah.
Right? Of course, we can use the investors. That's a given. But I'm always like this. Whatever the best fit is for your business, you got to look at your business dynamics. How much do you need?
Yeah.
If it's a small amount, use the bank. Build your credit. Build your business credit. These are just some small things that can be done. Learn about your business. Know your business better than anybody else.
Learn your craft.
Learn your craft.
What I love about you was that you were a man of faith. What I mean by a man of faith, a man of risk.
Oh yeah.
Because faith means risk. sometimes, we talk about faith and we leave it up in the faith zone or the church zone, but whatever. Faith means risk. If you want to have passion for something, go after it. And I see you going after those things.
Yeah.
I seen you. I was with you. I knew
Absolutely.
you. We had phone calls. We was in meetings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you went after those things. I know it kind of helped. I'm not trying to give myself a plug,
Right.
but I'm going back in memory. I remember help you doing proposals and stuff
Oh, yeah.
like that. And sometimes you have to shift. And there was sometimes that I had to shift in business. I had to shift. Even I shifted even being a life coach and a business coach. So I had to narrow my objectives because I see where I was becoming more effective as the father's coach. So I want to share that. Now I'm the father's coach, but I'm going to let you wear that hat for a little while.
Okay.
For a little while for this one right here.
Okay.
So as a father's coach, you're in the community.
Yes.
So you're doing things in the community, in the school. So can you share with the audience what you do in the schools?
Okay, so this, and I'm gonna call names. if you
Okay,
don't mind.
here you go for it.
So the gentleman that I've been alluding to in terms of working in the store is Ronell Page, my right hand man.
This is
This is my guy, right? And so by saying that, this guy when he's in the store learning and getting his ideas together, it's a beautiful thing now to see. So I'm helping him, he's helping me
in the school. So what do y'all
in the school. So right now we're doing substituting, staffing for the schools, and so and so the tide's turned now. I employed him, he's employing me.
That's the family dynamic. I want to share something about schools. 64% of students of Black males have parents whose education level is less than high school. 45% live in with mother-only households. 35% live in father-only households. So the reason why I said that earlier and I shared this is because you were a surrogate dad, so you were there. So you made sure that our brother, had a male presence in his life. And we know that's like, men, fathers, we're supposed to be what? Have protection, provide, be a presence, and also praise. We have to praise the kids. I have to praise my daughter. I have to praise them, but we also be a presence. So not only you are present in your family, for your daughters, your wife, you're present in the neighborhood and everything, but you're present, you're present for your surrogate son, and you're also present for the kids are in school. Absolutely. So if they don't have dads, they go look at you.
Absolutely.
Substitute and staffing. So they see a man that's sharp.
Yeah.
Man that's sharp.
Yeah.
And a man that's educated and a man that's good with words and everything. They need to see that.
Absolutely.
They need to see that.
Absolutely.
I mean, they need to see that. You are reforming the image of fatherhood in our culture. I'm telling you,
Absolutely.
I got to clap for this. I got to clap for this.
Absolutely.
I got to clap for this. I'm telling you, because you're a Renaissance man. You're a Renaissance man. I'm telling you, you're my guy. So I want to share with all these other guys. Let's get in the game. Let's get in the game.
Yep.
So we can be a present. Let's get in the game, please. One more thing I want to share because I want to talk about Turner Fashion House.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Turner Fashion House. Wow. So we went from being Rogers Menswear, right? From 1998 to about 2009, 2010. So as my family dynamics grew, and it's growing, my kids, my girls, my wife, everybody felt like they, needed a part and have some type of part in the business, right?
That's right.
I mean, because, they were only there by happenstance, you know what I'm saying? They were my kids. They come because they were getting out of school. My dad had the business. But now it's a little different. They've both been to college. My oldest daughter, she's doing fashion design.
Fashion design.
Like Yep. And so my youngest daughter, she's doing financial things and stuff like that. Also, internet. Computers. And so this is perfect because both of them at different times, of course, call me up and say, Dad, I got a perfect idea for the business. Dad, I got a perfect idea for the business. Both of them. So I'm saying, okay, their involvement can add some attention.
It expanded you.
And it did. And so for them to be in part of it now, we transitioned from being Rogers Menswear to Turner Fashion House.
He's global. and I want to talk about, I don't know if you want to share this, but I'm going to put him out there. He also doing some things on the motherland.
Yes.
So let's talk about
Yes. All right. So, a lot of facets, man, to this thing.
Let's
right?
go for it. Let's go. That's why
So,
we're here. That's why we're here.
with Turner Fashion House, again, the beginning mindset was to some way, somehow have my clothing mass produced, have a clothing line so that individuals of all sizes could come and have a great fit, be fitted like never before, especially the big guys, big and tall. So the biggest thing that we were doing was, in the vision that God gave me, was to have a presence in Africa.
Okay.
And the presence was that we would have our African brothers and sisters sewing my clothing.
Wow. That touch.
The fabrics, you know what I mean? The way they, do their thing. Wow. And also just being
global Renaissance man.
Yeah, just being a presence in the land was great. And when I went last year, the main focus was that I had to touch bases with someone that knew how to make clothing, a warehouse.
Let's talk about it.
And so had dinner with a couple of different people. In Africa, in Ghana. And after sitting down and talking and, trying to, come to a happy medium, I mean, literally our last night in Ghana, here we are sitting to the table, negotiating, talking. Gentlemen came to the States this year. The rest is history. So we're getting ready to get our first shipment of the clothing that's being made. So, huge.
Wow.
Yeah.
When you first walked in the door, right? Because I know sometimes people give us gifts and everything.
Yeah.
I was looking for a suit when you walked around when you turned that corner. I was looking
for
a suit or a shirt or something. It's okay. I'm joking.
Okay, I better say, you got one.
I know you already got me. You got me one before.
Yes, sir.
A nice discount. I think it's Cali or something.
Yeah.
Hooked it up nice. And also you do tailoring too.
Alterations, tailoring, the whole nine. So I got to share this with you.
Share it, man.
Because one of the things that in going into business for yourself causes you to do is, or for me, caused me to do is learn every aspect of my business, right? And so the reason why I wanted to do that, because I didn't want anybody to know my business better than I knew it.
That's good.
And that was real. So I understood in high school, now get this, took home economics, cooking and sewing. Didn't have any clue whatsoever that this was going to impact my life later.
Home economics.
Home ec.
And now you have contracts in the motherland, in Ghana.
Absolutely.
With clothing.
Basic sewing skills, pillows and vests and stuff like that I was making. But had no clue that it was going to catapult into the business that I have today. So what a story, right?
What an awesome
What a
story.
Blessing. And this is God.
And this is the dream that you had. You can't.
Even then.
This is a dream that you had, I'm going to say over 25 years.
Man, this thing has been happening since, if I want to count the days of when I was in home economics, man, that's 40-some years.
Wow.
That I've been carrying this vision. You know what I mean?
So I want to bring in Mr. Lance Williams, talking about carrying the vision. I just want to share something. So about carrying the vision, how long did you carry your vision of your business? And I want you to introduce yourself to the audience real quick too, about the business.
Yes, I'm Lance Williams, and I'm a co-owner of Rhythm and Heat Seasoning Company, where we focus on low sodium, multicultural seasoning blends. And man, before I get into the vision, this brother is amazing, man. I just
thank you, sir.
I felt your presence. You know what I mean when you walked in.
Absolutely.
And I know Rondell.
Oh wow.
High school together, we played basketball together.
That's just up. No doubt.
Good brother. Seen him not too long ago, but yeah. You know what? The vision wasn't mine. It was my wife's. Let me be honest with you. And I trust her, and we both are like yin and yang, and we both carried out the vision. it was really her vision, but I was the one that I'm the one that does the hustle. I'm like, okay, you got the vision. You're the one that has all of these dreams, and you're the one that can put it down.
There you go.
And move it forward. So it wasn't my dream per se, or vision per se, but it is now. Well, I have a vision for it. We have a vision together. We're locked in. We're eye to eye, and it just goes to show that sometimes it may not come from you, but God can lay it anyway, and we carrying it out now. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
That's so powerful. When it comes to business, in marriage, I really want to focus on the marriage piece. Like the two become one, right? The two become one. So my wife and I, we were traveling, and my daughter too. We was traveling to Canada. I forget how many years ago. We traveling to Canada, and my wife, she had her MTO vision, MTO, which is Mom's Timeout, her self-care thing. But it kind of shifted into another name. We'll talk about that a little later. But at that time, so I had my business, Life by Design coaching firm. Had that, right? Life by Design coaching firm. And then when while we was traveling, it was like the Holy Spirit told me, there's no way, Kevin, that she could have her business over there and you do your thing here and you'll be able to successfully cover it, like be a support to her. So he said, bring her business under yours. And I was like, man, if I tell her that, she's going to think I'm still on thunder, And actually it didn't. She was like, yes, let's do it. Because she saw me being more, I guess, intentional. So I was being more intentional with her business being a part of mine, the two becoming one. And so her business right now is a facet of mine. It's a facet. So she's heading up the wellness piece with the self-care hub, the marriage piece. I thought this thing was going to be more of the high impact fathers, but it also has like a marriage theme that just happened by default. Like the two becoming one, they help. Roger wanted more, you wanted more help, from your wife, but she was there.
Yeah.
You wanted her to be something, but she was there.
She was there.
Yeah. She
just
is there.
You know what happens?
And your daughter's there.
Yeah. When you get a vision, man, and my vision was even bigger than that. I wanted all my siblings to be a part of it, right? But as time went on, I understood that, some people can't come along with you in the beginning. Right? Love my family. But at the same time, whoever wanted to be a part would come a part of it in due time.
They have to take some kind of value, though.
Well, yeah, and they would, because it had to be a reason why I wanted all of them to be a part, because I seen the qualities in them. So one person to the next, I'd already had a vision that they could be doing certain things. And so with that vision in play, that's why I wanted everybody to be a part. We can all eat, you know what I mean, without, so to speak, working for somebody else and making them babies, right? What about us?
You can put your kids through college instead of putting somebody else's kids through college.
That's correct.
So actually, you were, even though you talk about your siblings, but that's an attribute
yes,
of a father.
No doubt.
So it's an attribute of a father. Even if you're siblings, sometimes you have to father people that are older than you. And I think so. With that being said, what is the definition of a father?
For me?
For you.
A leader, a teacher, someone that's going to hold everybody accountable, but also holds himself accountable.
How do you hold yourself accountable?
Well, the word of God holds me.
Sure.
You know what I mean? No doubt we have conversations in church and whatnot, but God does. My thing is, I don't want to let my family down. So therefore, I got to make sure I'm doing the right things.
It's good.
I ain't perfect.
I know.
In a sense of us being human, right? But I know I'm perfect in the eyesight of God. Why? Because he looks at me differently than the world does.
Yeah, he does.
He does. So,
and he made you a certain kind of way.
Absolutely.
I'm looking at my thumb right now.
Absolutely.
I'm looking at my thumb right now because we all have a different and unique fingerprint.
Absolutely.
Thumbprint. And we also have a footprint. And we also have a voice print.
Absolutely.
So like we hear the Father's voice sometimes through things in the wind or the Bible or whatever, but also your voice and your voice. Our voices carry weight. There's some words that I will say when I'm talking to my daughter. When I'm talking to my daughter, I'm not just talking to her, I'm talking to her children's children. So I'm actually speaking through her when I talk to her. When I'm talking to my daughter, I'm speaking through her. When I'm talking to the kids in the school down the Seaford, when I'm talking to the kids, I'm talking through them so they can carry them. Like we carry the visions, they're gonna carry my words because they don't have fathers at home. Some don't have fathers, but they have Kevin Kelley.
That's what I'm talking about.
But they have Kevin Kelley. So everything that we're talking about here, everything that we're doing now, this is purpose. This is destiny. And it's not just my vision. I play on words a little bit when it comes to vision, and we carry the vision for a while. Yeah, we carry the vision that we hear, but it's actually God's vision and God's dream for our lives. And it's just a faith moment here. I want to share that. But it's not just our vision. It's the vision that we captured.
Absolutely.
And then we walk it out. And we walk it out. You know, I just love this thing. I know this brother right here, he talks a lot about, black man. I'm blackity black, so talk about the black man.
I do, but I didn't want to do that today, bro.
We can do it.
Hey, listen.
We can do that. This you.
It is.
That's what I said. We going in. Black man, I think you do a little Hebrew thing in there too, and I think, Africans, let's talk about it. What's a man, the black man? Talk about the black man.
Well, we have to understand who we are.
Who are we?
We are, no doubt, a byproduct of the motherland.
Okay.
And if we want to take it further, we are a byproduct of who God made us to be. We are the first man.
Okay.
Not the second, third, or however it's being sliced. We are the first. Can't get that misconstrued.
Okay.
We're the ones that taught. We're the ones that teach. We're the ones that came up with the words and different languages. Look at Africa right now, and look how many languages in tribes that they can speak.
Yeah.
What other religion? What other nationality can actually do that? You don't find that.
Right.
These are some educated people.
So is that why you wanted them to touch the fabric? You wanted to come from the motherland? There has to be a reason.
Well, it definitely.
Was it a pull? Was it a tug?
It's always been a pull and a tug.
Okay.
I've always had a connection. I felt a strong connection to Africa, right? So my daughter and I, we did the testing and everything like that to solidify, right, who we are.
Man,
right?
you don't even know. We were just talking about this.
This
in
is
the
real,
pregame
man.
show.
Yeah. This is, and so for me, I know I get a lot of brothers say, "Oh, I ain't from there. I ain't. Okay, you may not be, but I know where my pull comes from. I'm gonna tell you, man. Once I hit the ground of Ghana, it was totally different. A different feel, a different look, a different smell. Man, I was in glory.
Wow. That's all right.
Yeah.
Tell me about that feeling.
Well, so you ever wanted to do anything for a long time and you think you'll never get a chance to do it, right? So here I am getting the opportunity to go, man. So I'm elated about doing it, right? My expectation is through the roof. So I didn't want to really be disappointed by going there and seeing some things that will say, okay, oh man, what is this?
Like they say, never meet your hero because he disappoint you.
Yeah. So for me, going there was getting off the airplane, getting out of the airport and going and seeing a sea of black people.
Wow.
And that was awesome in itself. And so the second part of it was, after I saw the sea of black people, is the love of black people. And okay, I'm coming off, they spot we Americans, right?
Yeah.
They ain't care nothing about that, bro. They show love. And it was genuine. So here I am, every place we went, shaking hands, hugging, loving. Man, this is crazy.
Wow.
So for me, it's always been there. Like, what would it be? I've heard other stories from other people. You gotta go. And so by me having a clothing store, I had a lot of African brothers and sisters that kept saying, listen, don't spend no money on no hotel. I got family everywhere you go. I don't care. I have folks that I know from Kenya.
You hear this?
Ghana, Nigeria. I got people that I know from all of them. So I didn't want to burden anybody. I did get the hotel because I wanted some time to just sit back and dwell and not feel like I need to be entertained.
Yeah, and unwind a little bit too.
Yeah. So we going back next year.
Wow.
Oh yeah, this is real. Yeah, ain't no doubt.
Maybe I want to go.
Real. Yeah. Yeah.
Check this out. So a good friend of mine, he went to South Africa, and when he went, him and his wife, I think, when he said he saw the sea of black people, just like he saw a sea of black people. When he saw the sea of black people, he said he saw managers, owners, CEOs of the businesses. So it wasn't like what we see here in America, like it's like the 13% of African Americans in this country. So they say. But what he saw was the owners of the business, owners of the hotels, and everything was black. He said he was in heaven. He's never seen that before. He's never experienced that before. I've never experienced that before. That's why I want to go.
Yeah. I mean, and they have a thing where they doing a welcoming back, right? Where you can get businesses started there, right? And, partner up. This is what it is. This is what they're looking for. Because they feel like, and they realize that we are their brothers. Our wives, their sisters, right? And so by them talking this way and knowing this, they're trying to join businesses and make sure that the resources that we have, we can bring them.
Wow.
Don't come empty-handed, right? Come with the expectation of doing business. Let's ignite some things that's going to build their family as well as ours.
And you put our kids through college.
Yep.
So check this out. So when you went there, your first trip, was it a business trip or was it a leisure trip first and then it turned into business?
Well, for me, I mean, my mindset, I'm going to Ghana. So I'm going to make some business there.
You were intentional.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can't.
And you left there. So your first trip there, you were intentional, but you was hanging out.
Yeah.
And then you met people.
Yeah.
And then now you're exchanging in business with them.
Yeah. One of the things I had to do was when I touched ground, so we had a guide, took us everywhere, drive and everything. And so what I told the guide was, I'm here to do business as well as do tour. I mean, as soon as we get in the van, because we the first ones to show up, my wife and myself. And so I get in the van, I say, hey, brother, good to meet you, blah, blah, boom. I'm here to do business. Let's not make no mistake about this visit. I'm going to love the land, but I want to connect with somebody. Can you help me out? He said, what you trying? I explained. He said, oh, yeah, I got you. Just like that. So I said, man, this dude got to be
intentional.
Yeah.
And he spoke up for himself, and he knows his craft, and he has confidence in who he is. He knows who he is. He knows his identity. Yeah. He knows who God created him to be, and he took the risk. He had faith. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, so going there, and the first person we connect with is a lady that she does two-piece sets, shirts and pants.
Like what you got on?
Yeah. And so I said, but that's not, do you do suits? Do you do? She said, no, but I got a person for you.
I know a guy.
She said, he did my son's tuxedo for him. You got to see his work. So the crazy part is where we stayed at in Ghana, and what is it called? Accra. That's the
capital.
Yeah.
Accra.
So we stayed in Accra. We left Accra to go to another spot to meet her. Well, she sent us right back to Accra. So here we are spending the whole trip searching out where these people are, and got to him the last night. So we chopping it up for at least 5-6 hours.
In the meeting?
Yeah, man. So in the hotel, they had a section that we could sit, chat, and chew, and we was in there, man, 3, 4, 5 hours. It was crazy. So once we chopped it up, and I said, okay, your first task is to see how you take my measurements, get a suit made, see how tight your skills are. He showed me samples of stuff he already done, and the rest was history. I mean,
how long did it take him to make it?
For mine, it was about 4 weeks, 5 weeks to make it. So of course, he took his time. He had to get the fabric. Now we're getting fabrics out of Milan.
I was going to ask you, was it Super 100, Super 200s?
Well, we had Super 120s.
120s.
Yeah. So with the line now, we're doing Super 120s and Super 140s. But yeah, man, once the guy sent the suit to me, man, it laid on. Yeah.
International businessman.
Yeah. Wow. That was awesome.
So we got to talk offline.
Okay.
With all the cameras off.
Yeah.
We got to see how we can get Kevin Kelley, the Father's Coach.
Yeah.
All this other stuff out there.
Get your suit? Is that what you want?
Yep, did that too.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
We'll talk
globally.
Okay.
Because, you know why? Because my father told me that I was global. My father told me. So whatever my father has, I have access to.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. And if you don't believe it, you'll never receive it.
You guys know the craft. You and your wife, y'all know the craft.
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
And you packaged it. I want to talk about that some more. You know, the seasonings and how you packaged it. How does she know that it was, this much, tablespoon, teaspoon, or whatever for, the seasons, whatever.
I think she was just blessed. She's just blessed with, like, her taste buds are absolutely insane. And it comes from her mother. Her mom is an amazing cook, and she kept her in the kitchen, and she would test her, like, what do you think this needs? Like, and she'd be like, oh, I think it needs some citrus, like some lemon, or I think it needs a little more sugar. So like, she kind of got molded by her mom, but she was gifted with like her taste is good. So she'll taste something and be like, it needs a little more of this. So she knew what she wanted, like for our garlic and onion blend. She knew exactly what she wanted, but it was a measurement type of thing. Like, I think it needs a little more garlic, it needs a little more onion. So, but she was blessed by God with taste. So like bounce. So what is this for again? Bounce? It's all purpose. It's occasion all purpose. So just like Lowry's, or just like Old Bay, or just like any Cajun seasoning, you can use it on seafood. You can use it on your meats. You can use it in your grains. It's you want it. It's versatile. It's just seasonings.
I know what rude boy is. I'm talking about funk.
That funk.
Yeah, that funk. The funk. This is a season. Black owned.
too, man.
Black,
Yes, sir.
No
black
sodium.
owned.
Absolutely.
Black owned season. And the reason his story is that he had high blood pressure,
Mm-hmm.
and his wife was the cook, the chef of the house type of thing. And then she did this to save his life and change his whole life. His whole life transformed. And then he said, we have something there because of his wife. They bottle it up. They have their family business, like his family business.
Yeah. God is good.
Family business.
Absolutely.
Packaged it. He believed himself.
Absolutely.
And it's his craft. The craft. They understand the stuff.
Man, I tell you, this is a blessing, man, because what they doing in the land is just stuff here.
Really?
Oh my God.
We gonna talk. Look.
Bro, I'm telling you,
Reason. I'm here
Listen.
for a reason.
we went to a place, man, that once we drove up, they had trees on both sides. They had a all seasoning type of joint with nutmeg. They had all that.
Mm-hmm.
Fresh. They had noni.
Yeah.
On the tree.
On a tree.
That's how it grows.
Oh, the noni that they were selling like years ago when they were selling it?
On trees. Let me give you this one. Cotton.
I don't want to talk about no cotton.
Cotton.
That's how this country was.
No. But their cotton naturally
I was about to go on the tangent.
Get there. Yeah. Yep.
naturally grows on the tree. Not in the ground coming up like we,
Yeah, like we saw. Wow.
that they say that's artificial cotton.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what do you see now? What do you see for the future? I wanted to ask you some things earlier about vision. I think this is good entrepreneurial piece too. We talked about the family, the grit and everything, but vision. What is your definition of vision?
Okay. So for me, if you're asking for me,
I'm going to ask you next.
my vision is always empowering the next person. That's the vision, right? Because and building a legacy for your family. Because without building a legacy, how can your vision carry on?
It has to outgrow you, right?
Has to out.
I love it.
What's your definition of vision? I like that.
Oh man, that was good. I would say my definition of vision is following what God has placed in you as just a natural ability or gift. Sometimes you may not even be able to see it. Some other people may be able to see it in you. But being able to do it scared, do it, shy, or but knowing, what God has for you as a gift sometimes is what you need to utilize to be able to help others, like you said, and to push yourself. So that's how I look, see with vision.
I like to challenge a lot of my clients, students, and also clients, coaching clients, and also the people that I mentor. But I want to actually challenge my FCC community here. I want you to cast vision for the next 100 years. I want you to cast a vision and look at as a small, I want to say short-term vision for 21 years. Hey, 21 years. 21 years, the next 21 years, that's short-term. But I want you to start thinking about a 100-year business plan, a 100-year strategic life plan, 100 years. So it should outlive you. So when I'm talking to my daughter, like I said earlier, I'm talking through my daughter. I'm talking through her. You know, we're supposed to be our children's children, right? You're supposed to leave an inheritance. So I'm going to leave an inheritance for my children's children. But however that looks, at least I'm responsible for 100 years. Not just a business plan, a life plan of voice messages, or we talked earlier, voice messages, templates. I'm going to leave some crumbs. I'm going to leave some stuff. I'm going to leave some stairs. You're talking about stairs, right? I'm going to leave some stairs because that's what God told me in my favorite book. Leave an inheritance for my children's children. But in my heart, what he told me personally, what he told Kevin, he said 100 years.
Amen.
So I want to challenge us for the next 100 years. So Raj, I want you to leave the FCC community with a lasting word, something out of your experience or something out of your journey or even your business or Africa, whatever you want to talk about. You know, I want you to give them something.
Okay.
Give them something, either from God, from whatever. Give them something. I trust you.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Well, I'm always a guy that I'm never short on words. I must say that. But anytime I'm working with anybody, talking to anybody about their adventures, their businesses, whatever they want to do, it's always been said, never give up, right? Because you have a vision inside of you that God planted there. And so therefore you have to birth it. Okay, it's inevitable, right? That you do what God is telling you to do. Don't worry about whether or not you fail. Who cares about that? A lot of people that you see now that are successful has failed at some point in time. But if you get hung up on your failure, you'll never become successful. That's just true. Because every time that you try to go forward within your vision, you're going to always look at what hindered you and block that blessing or that thing that you were searching for. It will block that. You'll always be concerned about what I didn't do before instead of looking at what I can do now. My thing is always, I really wanted to, at the time that I closed my store, I didn't know what the Lord had in store for me. I really didn't. I was leaving it up to him. It was in his hands. I was pretty much saying, okay, Lord, if this chapter of my life is over, I'll go do whatever. Just tell me what I need to do. So when the Lord was dealing with me, with closing the store, here's what I did. I shut up. I didn't say a thing to anybody. But I also kept my ears inclined to what he was going to say. So what happened was people kept calling me. Raj, how you going to close the store? What are you doing? You don't have any clothes left? And fortunately for me, I took clothes home. After I closed my doors, I still had some stuff. I still have my connections with the different suppliers, right? And so I began to make phone calls again from my home.
Resilience.
And so he didn't allow me, not one day, to go without doing business. I continued to do it. It was my vision that he had given me. Now there was a break in the action. The season had changed for me to be in that store, and he was telling me to close the doors, right? So my suggestion always is this: focus on your vision. Never let it fall by the wayside, because if God gave it to you, he gave it to you and nobody else. Stop worrying about whether or not somebody else is going to do it because you overtalked. You didn't say it right, or you gave somebody a copy of something. Don't worry about it, because the thing about it is I gave my business plan to several people and they still couldn't do it. Wow. So here's the deal. I was hesitant at first, but listen, I'm still in the game.
Still in the game. Get in the game. I'd like to thank my brother, Mr. Roger Turner, and also Mr. Lance Williams. Thank you for joining us today. For work on this Father's Coach podcast. And I think today's, I want to say the theme kind of shifted. The theme kind of shifted into inheritance, legacy, and vision. and vision. So I want to share, if you haven't picked up this book yet, Sonship, Fathering, and the Journey of Becoming, the reason why I picked this up, because the whole time I'm thinking of legacy. I wrote this book with my father. We wrote this together. You met my father.
Absolutely.
We wrote this book together. And this is talks about 120 years of being in this country. We just celebrated 120 year family reunion last month. And I was there. And I was actually one of the speakers there. I had to speak for about 20 minutes, whatever, about legacy, family, and all that kind of stuff, right? But I was proud to be able to share this book, that some of the core values that we have. So go to www.lifebydesigncf.com to pick up your copy, and also go to YouTube, The Father's Coach Podcast. Share, like, and subscribe. I'll see you soon. Log in. Looking to hear from you. Take care. Peace. Shalom.